Good day, fellas. Today I have prepared a special video for you. So basically a quick guide for all the events that this game contains. Some information in advance. So basically all the info I'm giving you right now are just experiences from the past. So basically what other players and myself have seen in the game and the way how we have handled these things. Also, lots of these advice are for free-to-play players. Obviously, they do count for people who invest money as well, but maybe there are better options for those. The regular events always occur in the same order. So basically, the first week is a reset of the monthly events. The dice event, which is called the adventure trip, the treasure chest of Teich, Call of Races and the World Championships, which go on for 2 weeks. The upcoming week is Heroic Summon, Exchange Heroes, so where you can use your soul tiers for heroes. Afterwards there's Spring of Spirit, Spring of Pegasus, Ice World Adventure and the Autoloot Material event. So basically that's cupcakes, teddy bears, whatever they want to give you as currency. And the last week is always the World Tree Summon event and the Invitation of Valhalla. There are some special events, so basically the release of a Light and Darkness hero occurs every 3 months. And also it occurs in the Heroic Summoning. And so when a new Light Darkness hero is released and then the previous one, so the one from 3 months before, is added in the Sacred Shop, so for Sacred Emblems, in the Galactic Compass, for the Star Wheels and in the Light Darkness Elite Hero Shards. If we add another week, then during the Spring of Spirit week we have the Rare Upgrade Gems and Infinite Conversion event. So that's the event where I advise you to convert all your hero gems as far as possible. So I wouldn't do it outside of this event because it will just cost you a ton of gold coins. Another 2 weeks during the adventure trip there is the Arcane Workshop and the Sacred Treasure. So that's basically the only event where free-to-play players can access high-end artifacts. I will circle back to that one later. Another 3 weeks during the World Tree Summoning event, so basically from the Light Darkness release 6 weeks after, a new hyperspace hero gets released, and we have some other events, so like Chase of the Brightest. So that's basically the hero which is featured in the new hyperspace hero. If you get the normal materials or the normal copies of this hero, then you can get some rewards. The Star Chaser store, where you can exchange the currency you get by completing the Chase of the Brightest, where you can gain good rewards as well. And last one is the Hyperspace Brawl. I will circle back to that one later as well. After the Hyperspace Hero release, we add another 6 weeks and we are back at the Light and Darkness Hero. I would like to give you a quick summary of all the events. So some advice for every single one of them. Obviously I could talk about every one of those a lot more in detail, but it would take too long for now and I'm doing that in my video blog already. Let's start with the adventure trip with the dice event. So basically you get 4 dice per day, that's 28 dice during the week. And from the Call of Races, for exchanging the 4 normal races, you get 20 dice. So there are 2 options. Either you buy another 30 dice for 4,500 crystals and try to get 110 adventure badges. So that's the reward where you get the selective chest, where you can either go for 100 million gold or 100 million soul shards. The alternative would be to just claim the free dice, so the 28 login dice and the 20 from Call of Races, and let them be converted after the event for 100 each. This one gives you 4,800 crystals. I will circle back to that option a bit later. As for the reset of the monthly events, in the tavern I suggest you to leave your 6-star and 7-star missions unclaimed. So basically you complete them, but you don't claim them as they are finished. That's because you want to save up 5 6 stars and 2 7 stars to complete the event at once, because it's not guaranteed that you are able to get 2 7-star quests in a single month, for example. As for the Fuse and Evolve event, I advise you to stop fusing when you already done it 100%, because you aren't getting rewarded for it, and so it's just safe to leave them in your backpack or in My Heroes until the next month starts. As for the Call of Races, there are 6 5-star heroes of each race. I would suggest you to buy all the normal heroes, because you get 4-star gear, some dice for the adventure trip, and usually decent till good heroes to use. I wouldn't recommend to use any Light and Darkness 4-star as material to exchange those normal heroes. Also, I wouldn't recommend to buy the Light and Darkness heroes in the Call of Races, because those cost 30 million gold coins each and I think 3000 crystals, which is mostly not worth it, because those Light and Darkness heroes in there are really outdated and bad. The Call of Races is a good way to keep some heroes in your backpack if you don't need them, so that you have enough for the Invitation of Valhalla. I will cover this one in a bit. As for the treasure chests of Teich, there are usually the first 5 chests, so 1000 crystals till 6000. Sometimes in rare occasions, like currently, there is a 9000 chest. Mostly the 1000 and 3000 are recommended to buy, because they have good value. So as for the 1000 crystal chest, you get 3 Source of Life, which would usually cost about 1500 crystals. And in the 3000 crystal chest, you get 25 heroic summoning scrolls and some Sand of Time, which would cost way more than 3000. The 9k chest mostly contains some good Light and Darkness hero and some Sacred Emblems, so that's always a good choice as well. So as you can see, it's recommended to save lots of crystals for events like this. In the World Championships, there are 2 ways, as I see it, to gain some rewards in there. So if you consider yourself as a weak or beginner player, then I would recommend you to join in the last minute or hours, depending on what time zone you live in. And your goal is to just stay in the gold division to get an elite hero. And if you are strong enough, then you can just join in on the first day and do your free daily attacks. And at the end, you want to spend some crystals to get up to the diamond division, so that you can get 2 elite heroes. Next, we have the Spring of Spirit event. For 1 round, you need 300 coins. And mostly there are 7 rounds max, and I would always recommend to use the 10 spin for 8 coins, because you can save lots of coins that way. It doesn't really matter to save up those coins. I would only do it if you can complete full rounds after all though. In the Spring of Pegasus, 1 round is 160 coins. They recently added 2 rounds max, so previously there was only 1 round. And I would always use at least 20 coins to get the green max artifact. And if you have enough coins, then I would go full rounds as well. In the Iceworld Adventure, I would recommend you to buy the 3k and the 4k crystal chest, so that you can get 80 additional Ice Eggs. And your goal is to clear all the way up to floor 7. That one gives you lots of rewards, as you can see. The alternative would be to buy only the 4k chest and let the Ice Eggs convert to 9200 crystals. You have to consider that you have to pay 4k in advance, so your overall crystals that you get are 5200. So that's what I wanted to circle back. As for the adventure trip, the alternative to get 4800, or in the Iceworld 5200 crystals. Those are good ways to gain lots of crystals as free to play. I usually wouldn't recommend to go for these options until the mid game, so that's when you have multiple 16-star heroes already, but obviously that's your choice. In the Autoloot Material event, your goal is to buy the 2.8k reward. That's usually a good Light or Darkness hero. If you haven't gotten enough through the Autoloot, then you can use your energy crystals, and usually the amount of Autoloot was 2.1k before. In the last event, it was actually over 2.8k, so maybe they increased it forever, maybe that was a one-time thing, we aren't sure. But if you aren't able to obtain the 2.8k reward, then you can just buy Heroic Summoning Scrolls or the Soul Shards. As for the Heroic Summon and the Vault Tree Summon, those are the events where people save up most of their materials, so that's where your patience gets rewarded if you are able to save up enough of those. In the Heroic Summon, run round consists of 600 Heroic Scrolls and there are 4 rounds max. Your goal is to collect at least 2240 Heroic Summoning Scrolls, because you get 40 scrolls each for 1 round for the rewards. So basically that way you can go 4 rounds fully, and then most people only go for the Light and Darkness, because those are the good heroes in the long run. Parallel to the Heroic Summon, the Exchange Heroes event is offered, where you can exchange 2 to 3 heroes for a cost of 4,500 up to 5,500 soldiers. And the best value in selling heroes are the 5 stars, so I would always recommend to fuse first and then sell those. In the Vault Tree Summon event, 1 round are 80 Source of Life, and if there is a Light and Darkness hero featured in there, then you only have 4 rounds total. That would be 480 Source of Life, or as for the normal factions, that's 8 rounds, so 960 Source of Life. In the Invitation of Valhalla, which is parallel to the Vault Tree Summoning event, you can get rewards for obtaining 2 5-star heroes for the Light and Darkness each, and 3 5 stars of the other races. So it's best to have some heroes in your backpack prepared, so that you are 100% able to gain those rewards. Next we have the special events. So as for the infinite conversion, I already told you to not convert any hero gems outside of this event. In the Hyperspace Brawl, which is parallel to the release of the Hyperspace hero, there you can gain lots of rewards by just fighting other players who have those Hyperspace heroes, or if you have those Hyperspace heroes in your own team, that works as well. And you can do that in the normal arena, in the championships, or in the Elite arena in the Elite trial as well. As for the Arcane Workshop, as I already told you a bit about, that's the only way for free-to-play players to gain rare artifacts, and you can use the Arcane Stones from the adventure trip as well. And I would highly suggest you to look at the top right corner of the Arcane Workshop. There is a small button where you can use these stones to exchange your artifacts for good ones. Parallel to that, the Sacred Treasure, in exchange for a huge amount of Sacred Emblems, you're able to obtain high-end artifacts. I'm talking about like 400 Sacred Emblems for 1 artifact, so that's an insane amount in the early game, so therefore I would only recommend to do later. There are also some other events, some are more important, some aren't. And those mostly are different, and if you want to have details on those, you can just check out my other videos for it. There are also some really rare exceptions as for the normal event order, where they, for example, swap the order from the Spring of Spirit and the Vault Tree event. So you're getting some small hiddens in the game. So for example, if there is another event which lasts for 2 weeks, then you can see in the event rules if the second week might be another regular event as the one you are expecting it to be. I would like to end this video with a small fun fact. So basically on my server currently there are 2 whales, 2 big players. So the 2 strongest players of this server have over 3 million power. And I'm currently almost at half of this power as free to play. And after I did my monthly arena attacks, I was quite high in my ranking in the arena, so those 2 just decided to attack me countless times to get those points, which is obviously understandable. But the fun thing I wanted to show you is that even as free to play, even as almost half of the power, I was able to win 2 out of 5 times against the top 1 player and 1 out of 5 against the top 2. So as you can see, money isn't everything. You just have to use it the smart way. And in a few days during the heroic summoning event, I will use 900 heroic summoning scrolls. This one will push me way higher and I will be able to stand my ground against those whales even more. I hope you liked this video. If you would like to see content like this in the future, I urge you to leave a comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!